Hey everybody, I'm Kendra from the Key Resource, and I'm here with David from Armadillo. And today we're going to start over. All right. No, don't. You don't have to. I'll just cut it. Um, Hey there, everybody. I'm Kendra from the Key Resource, and I'm here with David from Armadillo. And today we're going to answer your frequently asked questions about Armadillo, about home warranties, why you need them, what the benefits of having a home warranty are for you, for your properties, your home, your rental properties. And we're just going to dive right in. But I have to preface this by saying that it's kind of funny that I'm here doing this video, David, because years ago, I promised I would never get another home warranty. And here I am, like a huge supporter of Armadillo, and just like an advocate for home warranties in general, now that you guys are doing it differently. And we'll talk about why. I actually have a funny story to share. We'll talk about, why I've changed my mind and how Armadillo is doing things differently. But let's get into these questions really quickly. And I don't know if you had anything, if you want to introduce yourself to or add a little bit more context to that before we get into it.
No, it's just great to be here, Kendra. I'm based in Atlanta, so hopefully a lot of your audience is Georgia based. And we get folks from all over the country saying I'm here because of Kendra, and it's a great honor. It's a lot of pressure, and sometimes they'll drop your name if they need a little more of a payout on their claim. So it's good to know Kendra.
No, that is so funny. So let's get into the first question. I have a really funny story to share. Like it's a full circle moment being here. But I think the biggest question people ask is if I already have homeowners insurance or insurance on my rental properties, why do I need a home warranty?
So you want me to take that one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, great. I mean, look, so you think about homeowners insurance and home warranty as two things that are very much complement each other. While homeowners insurance is really there for the perils, the things that are not supposed to happen, but when they do, it's very expensive. That could happen to your home, right? The flood, the fire, the hail, the burglary. Home warranty is there for the wear and tear that unfortunately will happen. These are, it's just a matter of time. You got all the systems and appliances happening in the home. They will break down eventually. That's okay. That's what the home warranty is for. Insurance is not going to cover that. I'd like to give an example, is that if you have a flood and unfortunately, God forbid, you have a flood and all of your let's say your dishwasher floats away, that's on your homeowner's insurance. But if you have a leak of your dishwasher and your house floats away, no, I'm kidding. If you have a leak in your dishwasher, that's on us. So that's how you want to think about it. And they're definitely not overlapping. They're complementary.
Yeah, and while homeowners insurance is required, a home warranty is not. But for me, I happily pay a low monthly fee to have the peace of mind, especially because I have multiple properties. But even if you're just a homeowner, I know we often talk about like landlords on my platform, but if you're watching this and you own a home, a personal home, having a home warranty can save you thousands of dollars. So that's a great explanation for that. And then we're gonna kind of talk about like the typical claims process. And I'll like pause here to insert this story because back in the day when I had my first home warranty, first of all, the interface was just there's no like online platform. You make a call, you're on hold forever. Um, in this instance, back then, we had an issue with the bathtub. And so I called the home warranty company. They send out one of their professionals. The guy looks at the issue and he says, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go get my tools out of my truck. He goes to his truck, gets in, drives away, and never comes back. Didn't answer his phone, none of these things. And I was like, oh my gosh. Then it was just like terrible service rep after terrible service rep coming out. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. This is a complete waste. And um, fast forward to a little over a year ago, I found out about Armadillo, and I love that you can use your own service professional. So you can use their reps, and David will walk us through like what a typical claims process looks like, but you can use their reps that they have in their network, or if you already have a plumber that you know and love, or you already have an HVAC technician or whatever technician you know and love and trust, you can use that professional and they will reimburse you. And so that for me is what made me change my mind and said, you know what, I'm going to try this again. And I love it. Like I've actually had to do a claim within the past year, and it was an amazing process. And I can share that later, but I'll pass it to David so he can tell us, like, if you're just new to the idea of a home warranty, like what does it look like? Okay, your dishwasher breaks. What's next?
Sure, great. So look, something breaks down in the home, you're gonna quickly go to our website, whether it be on your phone or on the computer, and we actually are rolling out an app that does all of this and more that people can have on their phone persistently. We need very limited information. It's gonna ask you to identify your property, and you're already covered by us, so we'll recognize the property. And then it's gonna ask you to pick which system and appliances from a drop-down list have gone wrong, and then it'll give you the most common issues. So it'll begin the sort of this dialogue. But if it's not one of those issues, then it'll just have a box below say, hey, tell us what's going on. Nothing specific, nothing too detailed. We just like to get an idea so we can start routing these things. And that's when you get a choice. You can either schedule one of our reps, and we have a nationwide network of vetted pros. And by the way, there's like oftentimes if you have a preferred plumber or HVAC person, that's great. And we'll get to that choice in a second. But sometimes, like, let's say your refrigerator breaks down and, we no longer have the Maytag guy. He's not around anymore, the so-called Maytag man. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know. So actually 50% of our landlord customers, a little over 50%, bring their own pro, but the others just say, okay, just schedule one of our pros and
Yeah.
we'll dispatch someone. You'll give 3 times that work for you, and we're going to dispatch somebody. And then they'll come out, they'll diagnose, they'll repair, or recommend a replacement and execute that. And then we cover all that. So think about the funding source being us up to the limits that are in the plan. And if you have HVAC, let's say $3,000 for heating and cooling could be up to $6,000. That would be, kind of the high end of what a claim would look like. But the other option you have is to just bring your own pro, hire your own pro. You have someone you trust, that's great. They do need to be licensed, but you bring your own pro. And what they do is, when that happens, is we start pre-authorize you for a certain amount. It's like, if it's a small appliance, 250. If it's large, like more like 500. And we say you're pre-authorized for this. If it's more than that, go ahead and do the work. Bring your own pro, do the work. If it's more than that, we'll float you a telephone number to say, have your pro call this number. Quick conversation with the
Mhm.
pro. What's really going on? Why is this going to be more? We then approve that amount,
Yeah.
and then they go execute the work. Now, as a customer will end up paying the pro, just like you would normally pay for work. But you send us the invoice, the paid invoice, and we're going to remit Venmo. If you want a mailed check, we'll mail the check, or PayPal, but we'll Venmo you the money within 48 hours, and you're going to get reimbursed. Now, every one of our plans does have a service fee. So let's say it's a $100 service fee and it's a $2,200 project, we'll just do 2,200 minus the 100, because you'll get reimbursed very quickly. But in that case, you do pay the pro.
Yeah, and so I actually experienced this, and even though there's not an app yet, the website is so user friendly. Like I absolutely love it, and I'll say too, just the Armadillo team in general, just the way they quickly email you. Like as soon as you put in that information online, you get an email. Here's what happens next. As soon as you talk to them and tell them you're going to use your own service pro, there's an email telling you then what happens next. Like it's just the communication is so good. I cannot stress that enough. So a question also came up about, is this just for new homeowners, or what if you've already lived in the property for a while?
Yeah, but we serve both, but really the older the better. Not for Armadillo, but better for you.
Yeah.
Typically the older the home, the older the systems and appliances, the more hair there is, and more likely they're going to have a breakdown. So I think value increases over time. There are players out there, competitors that have age limits, or might actually have higher prices for systems and appliances. We have no age limits, and then very importantly, if you bought something 15 years ago and it needs to be replaced, we do not take the depreciated value, which is tiny, of
That's
that
good.
product. It's whatever it would cost, unless you pick brand for brand, in which you're going to get the full, whatever it is to replace that product. That's an
Okay.
add-on. Whatever it would cost to buy something comparable today,
Hmm.
that's going to be the reimbursement for that replacement. So really it's only, I'd say like wine, right? It's only better over time, right? So we
Yeah.
welcome that.
Yeah, because I guess people are thinking like, oh, do I have to get this as soon as I buy my house? And that's not the case. So you can get it whenever. It's not like there's a time limit, if the house is only 3 years old or whatever. So hey. well, however long you've been in your house, you can definitely get a home warranty. It's never too late, basically. Um, and then we've already kind of touched on this one. Well, actually, let's go to this question first. So the different levels of coverage, because I know people will often see the link that I share. So if you look below this video, I'm going to share a link where Armadillo is offering a special discount for my audience. And so that's a really amazing discount too. Jump on that if you can. But what tier of service is that? And what are the tiers of service that you offer?
Yeah, look, so a lot of your audience is we found that some of your audience are single homeowners and some have
Hmm.
actual multiple units. So we
Yes.
we have specialists that we route them to. So we decided to take more of a hands-on approach. Say route them to a specialist, and they will have not only will they give them your discount, they'll have access to every one of our products. So
Okay.
there's no limitations there whatsoever. And you think about our product suite across a few different dynamics, like I always think about as you move from left to right if you're looking at a menu, but it's what's being covered. Is it just the appliances? Is it
Okay.
key systems? Is we including HVAC? So like what items in the home are being covered? A lot of optionality there. And then to what limits are they being covered?
Okay.
Do you only want to have $1,000 of coverage or $3,000 of coverage or $10,000 of coverage on certain things that go down? Then there's also a toggle on the per claim service fee, also known sometimes referred to as a deductible,
Hmm.
which is that $100 I mentioned earlier. If you toggle that, and you increase it, just like homeowners insurance, actually, if you increase that, you can actually reduce your monthly or annual subscription spend. So some of our customers like to do that. Say, I only want really Armadillo to be there if something more significant happens and I'm going to up my service fee to $200 and that'll bring down their price.
I see. So
Oh,
basically,
yeah,
once you go in and get a quote, if you click the link below and kind of start that process, you can talk to a rep and they'll custom tailor it for you and what you need.
absolutely. That's exactly
Okay.
how it works. And they could also just purchase directly through our system, but like we have somebody there for them as well. And then also like as they're purchasing and whether they're walking through it with our pro or online, like there's also add-ons.
Yeah.
Things like pool and spa, external lines. I mentioned brand for brand earlier. So they're all things that could just make sense depending on the nature of the property.
Yeah, so when you look online and if you click this link, you'll see what that specific plan covers, but you can do add-ons. You can call and also mention my name, try to get the discount that way, and then see if they can customize it based on what you need. Um, and that's what I love about it too. I also love like the contract. It is so easy to read and understand. Like it's very clear. Exactly. Like when I need to go back and look like, wait, what does my plan cover again? It's not like a whole bunch of convoluted messaging. So that's really cool too.
Yeah, we
Um,
started Armadillo because of those contracts. We saw a home warranty contract and it's just filled with gotchas. And we think more than
mhm,
most what we've learned is the most important thing is that people, homeowners and investors, they want to know where they stand. They want to know what's covered, what's not
yep,
covered. So as soon as something breaks down, they can make an informed decision.
yep,
That's the most important thing.
yeah, it's really great. I think it's like 2 pages or something like that. So we talked about this a little bit, but you offer plans for homeowners and landlords, and it basically just depends on what you need covered. But I love that you do like cater to landlords because that's hard to find too, like in the home warranty space.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, like one of the most important things is that landlords can't afford to wait for a repair.
Yeah,
Sometimes they have a really irritated tenant that's sweating them out. Sometimes they might even be in a jurisdiction where they could be fined for not addressing a breakdown fast enough. So we take a lot of pride in how quickly we dispatch our own pros, but
yeah,
but because we let you bring your own pro, if you have someone who can get there in a hurry in the middle of a night on a weekend or a holiday, go do it and then work the reimbursement from us. So that allows them to have that speed. I mentioned this ability to know what's covered and not, and ultimately throughout the process, they just want to have that have as much have an informed process. Investors
yep,
they're very data driven, so I want to make the informed decision. Um, yeah, so I mean, just having that freedom, particularly to bring your own pro, and like I mentioned, they don't always bring their own pro.
yeah,
We have landlords that are managing property remotely and they actually don't have a network in
yep,
that community. And then we
yeah,
ones that actually, will some of them might even will even employ a set of pros if they're scaled enough. So they're of course going to want to use their own pro, and they're not going to accept a solution that says our pro, our schedule.
Exactly. I think it depends. For me, I got a text from my tenant like 2 days before this past Christmas, that the AC was not working. And this is in San Antonio, Texas, where yes, you're using the AC 2 days before Christmas. Like it gets really warm there, and it stays warm there like year round. And so believe it or not, our tenant actually needed the AC. And so I went on the website, put in a claim, and even though it was so close to the holidays, the team was just so responsive. We ended up using our own pro, but we had the option to get somebody out there with Armadillo, like if not the same day, next day, or something crazy like that, for it to be around the holidays. It was just so quick. Um, and then we got the invoice from the service professional and then submitted that to Armadillo. Of course, they had the call and everything, like you mentioned. And then they Venmoed, I think we got the money Venmoed back to us within a few days after everything was complete. So it was a great, seamless process. I was able to easily look at my contract and see what was covered and how that lined up to what was approved, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. So if anyone is interested in signing up today, if you're asking like, how do I sign up? How do I get started? How do I get a quote? You can click the link below and do it that way, or you can call and you can just mention this video, mention my name, Kendra, the key resource, and you should be able to get the discount even if you do get a customized plan. I'm not exactly sure how that
Oh yeah,
works.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely, of course.
Okay. So if you
You have
have
a
any other
code.
questions,
There's a code.
there's a code. Okay.
Resource code.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll put the code below.
No, no,
I'll
no.
put
I'm
the
just
code.
saying. I'm just saying. We use a code. Yeah, like there's a, I don't know.
With
You've
like
got you've got your
internally.
own code. I need to get a code. I don't have a code, but I don't know.
That is so funny. So, yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you can definitely comment below this video. There's also a really good FAQ page on the Armadillo site. The team is awesome to work with, so if you call, they should be able to help you out as well. Oh, also, their Instagram page is really good too, like lots of tips on how to maintain your house and things like that. But I appreciate you guys taking the time, because I feel like there's this stigma out there about home warranties. It's so we were able to like do this and demystify it, kind of answer some questions, but also remove the stigma that all home warranty companies are the same, that they all send out like terrible professionals and it's terrible service. Armadillo has changed the game, so everybody can relax. We can all pay a low monthly fee and like, just have that peace of mind for our properties,
Yeah,
right?
thank you so much for saying that, Kendra. And like, we're young companies. We're trying to do things differently, but we make mistakes too. And like, we always say just around here, like, if you make a mistake, how do you make it right after you make the mistake?
Yeah.
But the way I would look at it is I think the stigma, I've had to put my finger on it. It's I'm taking out a home warranty. Sorry, these warranty companies, they take your money and they hope you actually don't make a claim. Like their goal is like, warranty, don't make a claim. God forbid you ever make a claim. We're promoting this to landlords. Landlords do not buy this product expecting to not use it. If you have renters,
Correct.
they're going to abuse your house more than anybody. We had over 1.5 claims per landlord last year per property. So it's more than over one, and people who take out these Armadillo plans really use it. And we're doing this recording right now in the summer. It's the busiest time of the year for us.
No, literally. I just had another call from a tenant, a different property, about an AC unit. So I'm like, and we're trying to keep our costs low and our profits high. And so I also use Armadillo in my personal home as well. So I think whether you're a homeowner or a landlord, it can definitely pay off. If you guys have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. If you have, any other thoughts or anything you want to share, you can also call up the Armadillo team. I'll put their information there. David, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I feel like so special that you guys took the time to talk to
Yeah.
my audience here, and we just appreciate you. So yeah. So cheers to a better way of doing home warranties.
Have a great one. Happy 4th.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.